They are siblings we first introduced you to right after the July flood. Today we checked in with them to see where they are now.
And why one mother says Senate Bill 9 is so important for the health and safety of students.
Plus, we're not done with those strong storm chances just yet. The latest breakdown coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Good evening again. I'm Steve Hensley.
And I'm Olivia Calfee. Strong storms continue to push across the region, and the threat for flash flooding also continues.
Well, let's check in with meteorologist Evan Hatter for the latest on this first alert weather day. Evan, it seems like calming down a bit.
That's right. We haven't seen a ton of thunderstorm activity. We've seen some, but the main threat so far today has been the potential for heavy rain and high water issues. And of course, when you're dealing with heavy rain, high water is not the only threat. It can also lead to some instability in some of the rocks and some of the soil in the region. And this is just an example of that. This is Kentucky 52 in Breathitt County, not far from the line there with Lee County. For Deanna Marshall Robinson and Brenda Little send us these photos of a big-time rock slide on Kentucky 52 in Breathitt County. Over the road there, you see the kind of a clearer picture on the right of some of an extensive rock slide there. Working on getting some more photos. You'll see those on social media in just a second, but that's just the power of what the water can do. And we are watching very heavy rain moving toward us. There's downtown Hazard, plenty of stormy activity heading in our direction. There's the view from London Corbin Airport, where we have more storms in place right now. We'll continue to see these push to the east, be moving toward Pikeville over the next little bit. Just north of McDowell, some heavy rain there in central portions of Floyd County, and some more heavy rain back toward London and Manchester along Highway 80, the Howell Rogers Parkway corridor. Everything here moving to the south and east. Flash flood warnings remain in place through the evening hours, and a flood watch in effect through tomorrow morning. I'll break down when things finally move out coming up in a few minutes. Guys.
Thank you, Evan. Following the late July flood, I shared the story of two siblings in Knott County who lost their homes and were living together in a wood shop.
They both say they would not have made it through this time without a lot of prayers, each other, and help from numerous people.
Today I visited them and learned what all has changed during the past 6 months. Just days after the July flood, Ted Sloan and Margaret Sester sat in front of me with nothing but a bed in a wood shop and each other.
We waded water to her waist and made it to them bushes and hold to that guardrail and made it up here to the shop.
Now more than 6 months later, we sat down and reflected once more.
After the flood, people really started pouring in help. We stayed up there in that shop, about 5 months and a half before we got in this mobile home.
Just a few days after Christmas, saying the help they have received has been amazing, adding someone even helped furnish their new home.
People have it helped us so much. Countless of people.
Even though moving into their home has taken months and each day has not been easy, they both agree the Lord has carried them through.
I think the Lord has showed me that you got to be patient and have faith and stay the course and don't give up.
Proof that those things can sometimes turn into a new home, kind people, and a touch of normalcy 6 months later.
We're much better. We're much better off, than we was in the 28th of July.
And I thank God that the people has come in and helped us. We've got good people out there.
And don't worry, Ted and Margaret say their sibling bond is stronger than ever before.
Hi, buddy, we just closed as 2 peas in the pod. Now, I'm telling you, we sure are.
Ted and Margaret say they still have multiple needs on the outside of their trailer and hope when it gets warmer they will be able to fix those issues. Ted also says hopefully by fall he will be back in his wood shop working again, so maybe I'll have to make another visit in 6 more months.
Well, several folks impacted by the flooding in July are also seeing high water again today, unfortunately. Here's some video, and we understand that this is, I believe, from Breathitt County, but obviously some high water in Breathitt County today. We have a reporter there, and we hope to have much more from there tonight at 11. We also understand, as Evan mentioned a moment ago, a rock slide has a portion of Highway 52 blocked.
First responders have definitely had a busy afternoon due to the weather in Rockcastle County. In a post on the Mount Vernon Fire Department Facebook page, officials say large amounts of water have caused multiple crashes on I-75. Firefighters advise drivers to watch out for slowdowns, even though all lanes of the interstate are currently open. They also say to slow down and move over for emergency vehicles. Across the region, many school districts decided to send students and faculty home early due to threats of high waters. In Johnson County, high waters did begin to impact many regions, especially in the area surrounding W.R. Castle Memorial Elementary School. Assistant Superintendent Noel Crum says the decision was made solely to protect the district's students and faculty, and he is glad the decision came when it did.
That when decisions like this are made, they're kind of uniform, that everyone is looking out for the safety of our children. And it seemed like that pretty much the whole Big Sandy region, responded quickly here to try to get everyone home.
Johnson County Emergency Management Director Gary McClure adds that the National Weather Service in Jackson is forecasting the county to receive around 1 inch of rain overnight, high winds, and a freeze that could impact morning travel. We will have more from Johnson County tonight at 11.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear updated July flood relief numbers in his Team Kentucky news conference today. The governor announced around $678,000 were claimed by flood survivors from FEMA just this past week, and in total it all adds up to around $99 million now. 7 flood survivors received the maximum grant FEMA can give out in the past week. The Kentucky governor asked for flood survivors to stay patient through the long application process.
If you need help, please call FEMA directly or visit one of our multi-agency resource centers. People are getting their claims through. They're getting maximum amounts. I know it's taken far too long and the process is way too difficult, but other folks out there are getting through it, and they're getting through it with help.
Governor Beshear also says recovery assistance personnel will begin rotating through each recovery center on February 20th. The staff will rotate from county to county each day.
A former Kentucky National Guard soldier with post-traumatic stress disorder says he's been left behind. The man, who wants to remain anonymous, says he's been denied benefits multiple times. Tonight at 11, we are taking a deep dive into PTSD, its stigma, and the need for resources. Advocates say state law needs to change to keep more first responders and service members from falling through the cracks.
It needs to be addressed. We have to take care of the people that take care of us. You can't ask people to go into harm's way and just disregard the needs that they have once they complete that.
Tonight at 11, Garrett Weimer introduces us to someone who served Kentucky, only to be discharged, diagnosed, and denied. Police are investigating after 4 students were taken to the hospital after using a vape pen. The school resource officer at Lynn Camp High School in Knox County said the students had side effects from using the device. He did not call it an overdose and said they used the vape before school earlier this week. They went to the office after having shortness of breath, high blood pressure and heart rate, and feeling tired and confused. The officer says the vape pen contained THC, but he was not sure if something else was in it. He urges children and parents to not use vape pens because he says you don't know if they're tainted.
A Tennessee murder suspect was arrested this morning in Corbin. Police say they received a call from the Murfreesboro Police Department requesting help to arrest Salim Hamilton. The Tennessee department pinged Hamilton's cell phone and it showed up at a Speedway gas station in Corbin. 2 Corbin police officers went to the gas station and found Hamilton, but when they went to arrest him, he reportedly struggled with them. He was eventually taken into custody, and police found a handgun that matched the one used to commit the murder in the Volunteer State, along with several other pieces of evidence in the case during a search. A body found in Claiborne County, Tennessee on Tuesday was identified as a missing woman today. Claiborne County Sheriff's Office officials say the body was found in a mountainous area in northern Claiborne County and was transported to Tennessee's Knox County Regional Forensic Center for an autopsy and identification. Officials did identify the body as 36-year-old Christine Hahn, who was at the center of a silver alert issued in January.
The Senate Judiciary Committee heard Senate Bill 9. The bill would make hazing a felony in Kentucky. For the Hazelwood family, it is a bill they believe is incredibly important. Tracy Hazelwood said her son Thomas, also known as Lofton, died as a result of hazing after he received his bid for the farmhouse fraternity at the University of Kentucky. Now she says she wants people to be held accountable for hazing. Senate Bill 9 could do just that.
We beg of you to pass this law because we don't want anybody to go through what we went through. I want everybody to think about being 3 hours away and you get that phone call.
The bill would make hazing in the first degree a Class D felony and hazing in the second degree a Class A misdemeanor. A person could be guilty if he or she intentionally or wantonly engages in an act of hazing that results in serious physical injury or death to a minor or student. And a person is guilty if someone recklessly engages in the act of hazing.
Well, coming up, I've got the latest from Pinpoint Doppler as those strong storms continue to push on into the area. Details after this. Plus,
the Kentucky Supreme Court said the state's abortion ban can remain in place while a lawsuit against the ban plays out.
WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories as they happen, customized to the categories you choose. The WYMT News app, powered by Appalachian Wireless.
People remember ads with a catchy song. So to help